And welcome to another match of the Metroid Prime 2. Whoa, I hear myself.
Twitch stream, yep, me too. Gotta mute that for the screen share instead.
Okay, testing. No, I still hear myself.
Op, do you still have the Twitch stream open with the
Oh,
audio still open?
I'm
That would
done.
be why.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, welcome to another match of the Metroid Prime 2 Randomizer Tournament. I'm Op82, and I'm joined by Aaron, Explosives. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Just ready to watch a good match.
Yep. And tonight we have Dyceron versus MightyCaesar. As far as I know, both are very good runners. They know a lot of tricks, and we should see some interesting action tonight.
Yep, looks like we're gonna get underway in a few seconds.
Yep.
As long as once our restream catches up, of course.
Yeah.
So, any agreements between these two, except for I think it's no final bosses?
As far as I know, there are no gentlemen's agreements.
Okay, so we'll see final bosses for a change.
Yeah. And we're off.
Yep.
So in tournament settings, we start in Great Temple Energy Controller, and we should be getting Violet either, well, as our second item.
Starting with a power arm expansion, while not a logical item for progression, is still really nice
Yeah, it
for
does open up a
this
lot.
fight.
Yeah, it'll end the fight pretty quickly too, and it opens up a lot in Temple Grounds.
One of my least favorite things about Great Temple Start is just, especially if you get Violet first, you don't have a chance to get an item that speeds up this fight here.
Yeah.
Like even a missile, like a single missile would just come in so handy, but this power bomb is nice to have.
Yeah. Nice drops.
Yep. You're able to get multiple flex drops by killing the first splinters on the same frame.
Mm-hmm.
So the power bomb flex drop logic is used multiple times. And so if you just pick one up, you can use it, and then pick up another, use it again, and it looks like DCR is going to be able to pick up on a third power bomb right after. And yep, Violet Translator required to leave.
Yeah. Immediately going back to check the hint, in case it's useful.
Yeah, I dig that. And it looks like Caesar, I didn't see what the drops were like for them.
I missed it too.
Hopefully not a joke hint. Oh, okay. That's honestly not a bad hint.
I looked away for a second. What was it?
It was Amber and Calm area, which is
Nice.
interesting because that's obtainable right now using the power bomb in the standable terrain, but without space jumper bombs, going back to Temple Assembly Site is not possible, and they can they potentially get themselves stuck in GFMC by not getting missiles either. So I don't know if that's a play they'll consider making right now. I
Well,
don't think I would. So
they do have the power bomb expansion to get out, right?
they do. It's just for drops. I guess you can kill the
Crates
sprinter.
drop them. Yeah, the crates in GFMC drop them.
Yeah, it would just take a while to get back out. Yeah, you can get back. And Caesar just catching up on DCR by not reading the hint for now.
Yeah.
And DCR taking an interesting strat to avoid this. What is it even called? The
Symbiote?
cloud that spawns the
Cloud? I
symbiote,
don't know.
something like that. Yeah. It doesn't spawn the splinters. It has something to do with like getting the UMAS 1 item before entering the cutscene of this room first. Because normally it spawns a bunch of splinters, and then the clouds turn the splinters into dark splinters.
Yeah. And in some cases, the splinters won't spawn, and the cutscene coming into tasks will have already been triggered, so the energy can end up coming after you and trying to kill you.
I'm not actually even sure what causes the splinters to not spawn.
Me
In
neither.
any percent speedruns, you trigger the temple assembly site cutscene at the start. After doing item loss skip, and then at the very end of the run, when you come here to get a cursed lake, you get the trigger because you collected violet earlier in the run as well. But for some reason, sometimes the splinters aren't there.
Yeah, I forget
And I don't really
exactly
understand that.
what the layer change is. I know it has something to do with the layers.
Yeah, DCR making the play to check GFMC ship and getting a missile expansion out of it so they can continue around the loop.
And a missile-related upgrade at a curse lake.
And main power bombs are
Oh,
in logic now
speedrun.
with Seekers. Okay.
Okay.
So Seekers, without main missile launcher required, can still be your logical missiles. I talked to Darkseer about this morning, and they told me that when it places logical missiles, the chances of placing a missile launcher or Seekers is roughly 50-50. That was a interesting sort of movement to just. Oh yeah, they didn't scan the crate earlier.
Might have
And
just
I guess
remembered
these
to check
are.
this.
Yeah, it's just checking Hive Chamber B. And also potentially Storage Cavern B. Did Dyceron powerbomb the door and forget that they didn't have space jump, or did he just peek Grand Wind Chamber?
Looked like he was just opening it up for later.
Hmm. Lots of out of logic checks by both our players right now.
Yeah.
It's just doing some temple grounds cleanup before committing to Aegon. Oh,
Emerald.
Emerald. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna read a lot of hints early on in this seed.
Yeah. Out of logic, but worth it.
And yeah, DCR climbing Sacred Path by doing some slope jumps and scan dashes to skip time over scanning the cannon and missiling the wall. Oh, I didn't manage to see what was down there, but it looks like DCR just want to grab it. Oh, just dark ammo. With the modified item pool, I believe the ammo expansions, not only are they separate, but they only provide 20 ammo, I think, over the 50 that they normally provide in-game.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can be worth picking it up. I used to not like doing it this way, but I kind of realized that it's when you have ammo and echoes, like 50 is not very much, but then 100 is like too much. So it's nice to have like an in-between value that you can have.
Yeah.
I think Caesar might be going back for calm area, yeah. They did grab Dynamo Chamber, which I unfortunately didn't see what it was. What was must have been an Aegon key then, just from the trackers.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Gollop confirming that. Thanks. Also, shoutouts to Gollop for tracking for both of our runners.
Yes.
They always do an excellent job. Also, yeah, as they're pointing out that with the hint at the transport to Aegon saying where main PBs are, that Emerald Translator isn't logic. And with logical missiles as well, looping around in to GFMC is a logical play overall. And even without the hint from main energy controller, they're going to luck into Amber as well. And DCR will probably think the same thing as well upon reading the Powerbomb hint and finding logical missiles. So
I wasn't sure what that said. It did say mining station access.
I think it was the other one, the portal, like the cannon room.
Portal access.
Portal access,
okay.
yeah. I think that was a room that got renamed in later versions, potentially. Or maybe it was just Japanese. Because it's weird that they would give, like the A indicator to a room that doesn't have, like, a B indicator.
Yeah.
In a different room. I don't know. DCR doing a pretty annoying dash to skip shooting the thing with a missile. A beam in Judgment Pit, okay. So I can tell them to prioritize doing the Jump Guardian check upon getting bombs. Okay, what are we gonna get? A mining station access? Oh, light beam. So I guess that's probably gonna be dark beam in Judgment Pit.
Yeah, or Annihilator.
It could be Annihilator. And Caesar will save some time over DCR here because they won't have to save Warp out. DCR is just prioritizing the hint. That's smart. I've never thought about doing this before.
3 rooms away from a B.
Oh, okay, so...
I'm guessing,
mining station A...
guessing in cache A, or...
That could be vanilla.
Trial tunnel. Yeah. Oh, wait. It was dark Aegon? Light Aegon?
I'm just thinking about the light beam that was found in mining station access. That is a logical check now, too, with main power bombs. So...
I was thinking...
I'm thinking bombs are vanilla.
Okay.
I think
I mistook it for dark Aegon, so I was thinking,
Oh, wait, what? Dark beam 2 rooms away from central mining station.
So
Annihilator
yeah.
in Judgment Pit. And there's space jump here. What is the seed? All the items in Aegon. That's crazy. With both beams, main power bombs, and Amber and Emerald, along with Seekers, like, the game is starting to open up extremely fast.
Yeah.
Like, they've got logical Sank access to Spider Side, like, just to do a few checks there, but after that, they're just going to be looking for their logical progression in Torvis.
Yeah. And all we need for Torvis is Supers or
Boost Ball. It could be Boost Ball as well, because they've already got Seekers. And Emerald. Let's see if it was vanilla. I suppose bombs could also be Central Mining Station. Oh, and maybe they are. Because that space jump gives them access into the entrance of Aegon with main power bombs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, THK brings an interesting point. Bombs could be 3 rooms away from Jump Guardian, meaning bombs could be doomed entry
Yeah,
or storage
or
B as well. Yeah, if Dark
yeah,
Beam is in command center. That's this is a really interesting scene. The beams are so close to each other, and with that bombs being 3 rooms away from one hint, you have like a lot of really close rooms that could all contain your bombs.
I'm still not sure if the bomb hit was light or dark Aegon. So I'm thinking maybe either broom closet or battleground, maybe.
Hmm. There's an interesting strat that you can do after scanning that amber hint in Mining Plaza. If you wait a little bit for the what do you call it, like the translator, like alphabet letter to disappear, you can jump on the little remainder of it and be able to jump up to the upper platform. No slow
Oh,
jumps required at all. And yeah, there's the Dark Beaming Command Center. And so I guess DCR just doesn't want to exit the tunnel in Command Center to lock the doors, resulting to no. All right, maybe deciding and realizing that Labs is the correct play. DCR killing those turrets, not taking any chances with this room.
I would.
Did you watch DCR's race from the previous week? They died in that room
I didn't catch it.
with 0 tanks. Oh, and yep,
Ah, okay.
storage B
Oh, there.
bombs. Okay. Okay, so I guess DCR is just choosing to stay in labs. Perhaps make a loop around and search for a suit or
Yeah,
supers.
yeah, they would need one of those 2 items for Torvis access. Or boost, I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah, boost ball as well.
Well, logically, anyway. There
Yeah,
is a trick you can do to get to the side of Torvis without boost. And I'm pretty sure
I
both of them know it.
yeah. Neither of them have screw attacks, so they can't do the bonk method. But there is a really odd trick where you can kind of like climb up the half pipe and get enough height to be
Yeah.
able to do it, to just kind of jump up to the secret door. I'm curious if they'll consider doing it at some point. Like even if they have logical Torvis access with a suit or supers,
It'll be quicker from this
it would
point.
skip the save warp. But
Yeah.
then you're also skipping out on Temple Grounds cleanup, which is where the Emerald Translator is for DCR that only MightyCaesar picked up. And you're also missing out on like the Meeting Grounds Violent Hit and the Path of Eyes Violent Hit. MightyCaesar just using the Power Bomb to kill Bomb Guardian. Nice and cleanly. This was just a missile expansion, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Can never have enough missiles. And yeah, the scary vent area B with no energy tanks. No screw attack, unfortunately, so DCR couldn't do the skip. Did you, by any chance, manage to peek at the top of... Oh, looks like Caesar did, and it was a missile.
I couldn't tell either time.
It was just in the right corner of the screen. I believe I saw, like, something that was black and yellow. It's hard to tell when it's not your own game.
Yeah.
Still a pretty close race for the first 20 minutes. DCR might seem ahead, but that Emerald Translator might come in handy if DCR opts to skip the temple grounds like Hive Chamber cleanup. He won't find that for a bit. Oh, is it a suit in Central Mining Station? If it was, I'm surprised that DCR didn't pick it up. I guess they didn't have bombs at the time, so perhaps they didn't want to do the slope jump to get it. There is an expert level slope jump to jump up to a higher part of the room.
It's on the right side of the entrance, right?
Yeah, once you enter the room from Central Mining Access or whatever that room is called, you slope up the place where the fire is on the fight layer, and you're just able to dash to the. You can either dash to the cannon if you've already reloaded the room, or you can just simply do the last dash. And oh, I guess yeah, it might have been a suit because DCR is deciding to go back for that immediately instead of doing Dark Aegon. And MightyCaesar exited the tunnel from the front, like DCR opted not to do, so they're gonna have to kill the pirates and scan the barrier out. Or I guess they're picking up the suit first.
And Battleground, we have Missile Array.
So that is not helpful. Yeah, this is an extremely front-loaded seed. I think the most front-loaded one I've seen so far in this tournament.
Yeah.
It's always tricky to play these, I feel, just because you get so many options like so quickly. So it's hard to kind of make decisions.
We may have jinxed it though. In my experience, front-loaded starts usually result in extended late games. Could just be my luck, but
I guess DCR is just going to play for that Annihilator. And also probably open up the GFMC ship check. So perhaps they are leaning towards Temple Grounds cleanup. And entering Torvis from the front. I think I'd probably do the same thing in his situation. Just keep it safe, read the most hints possible, especially because they haven't cleared very much of the game yet.
Yeah, same here.
Bellator and Crash, were those Seekers in the seat that you played this morning in Hive Dynamo Works? Did someone confirm that? Because I thought they just weren't found at all. Nice, that's funny. I'm sure you don't regret your decision to skip them. To Bellator. I just realized it was Crash who posted it. Guess we're gonna find out what's in Crossroads while DCR checks listening cache 4. Oh,
It's like ammo.
Yeah. That was a lot of powerbomb drops on Caesar's end. DCR hasn't checked what's in Transport Center at all, right? So I guess if they were gonna go to Temple Grounds after, they'd probably just check that item and then leave to the front of Aegon for the Hive Chamber checks.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, if I've already peeked it before, I would probably consider just warping out to like warping out from Dark Aegon, but that's a check that you probably don't want to miss.
Yeah, personally, I don't like to peek that early and just go ahead and open up the gates for Transport Center in case I want to come back through there and maybe avoid losing Cannonball if I have it. Or,
Yeah,
just for a quicker way to Temple Side Torvis.
I've seen a few people peak that in this tournament so far, and I don't know how I feel about it exactly, just because it's really slow to roll through the sand. But
Yeah, that's why
if
I
if
never do
you're
it.
if you're in Aegon and you still don't have like a way to escape Bomb Guardian, right? Then maybe I can understand like peeking it while you're using the save just to be on the safe side, and then minimizing the travel time it takes because you're already taking the save regardless. Oh, and it's Dark Visor and Broom Closet. Okay, the front loadedness continues.
Yeah.
They're getting stuck.
And
Yep,
now we're just damaging down Jump Guardian before the fight starts.
yeah, the hitbox 4, the boss is just chilling out here even before you hit the trigger in the safe zone. You can even kind of like walk into it and take damage and recoil off back. It's rather funny.
Yeah.
I think when if you have light beam for this fight, I believe it's faster to kill Jump Guardian like without it once the fight starts, because if you kill it with light beam, it does do that like special animation where enemies burn away. I believe it takes just a little bit longer for the item to start spawning, so something to consider. Yeah, that was an insanely tough boss fight. Very well executed by Dyceron. And yeah, Caesar doing what DCR did earlier too and killing Dark Samus with the power bomb. I don't remember the damage value of power bombs. Is it 50 per frame? I think it's either 25 per frame or 50 per frame.
I have
But
no idea. I just know it works.
yeah, DS1 is able to be damaged by it. 50 damage per frame. Okay, so I was right the first time. Big per frame. And that's just a missile.
Second Aegon key, so could be pointing us toward a Morbus.
Yeah, potentially. I wonder if Caesar will dip into Dark Aegon. Although if I was in their position, especially with the Emerald, I'd lean Torvis for intel. I wouldn't know what to think in their positions. Like the seed is so front loaded and with like such a linear path at this point that, you know,
Yeah. They have basically all three areas open to them now.
I wouldn't know if I was behind or ahead. Oh, I also just realized that Dark Visor and Seekers put Sank Spider Side in logic. You're right.
Yep.
Wow. Not sure exactly how much they can do there logically without grapple or screw attack.
They can check the three items on Spider Side.
So going up the elevator doesn't actually help them then, other than opening up the gyro?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they can open up Sank entrance.
What's
No,
the
no, no,
last
no, no.
Aegon key?
No, they don't have boots. Never mind. I'm wrong.
Yeah, no boost ball yet. I really hope that Caesar doesn't end up regretting coming to labs before the Annihilator beam that they know about on Jump Guardian. Because I'm sure Caesar is comfortable enough with dashing to get in cash too. Oh yeah, absolutely. If they're doing this doomed entry dash, then they know how to dash. So they
Yeah.
could grab the in cash too with the Annihilator. That dash is finicky because when you dash off of things and echoes that like you're actively scanning with like the progress bar, you can't press the A button to cancel your lock on to be able to like, turn in the air during your dash. So for dashes like that, in order to that's Spider? That looks like Spider to me, it's like a small ball.
Oh, is
I might be
Spider
wrong on
small?
that. Yeah,
As
someone
spiders.
told me that Spider was smaller than Boost, and
Oh, I've
oh,
never been
DCR
able to
just got
tell
the
the
hint for
difference.
Spider here.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I was too busy talking about dashing. But yeah, for dashes where you dash off of something that's close to you have to release L and then immediately repress it like frames later in order to minimize the amount of speed that you lose. Spider ball. And boost and Inghive. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder if DCR might choose to, yeah, go grab those right now. Smart.
Was there an
Boost
end for that?
Yeah, they're
Or
saying there was. I think it was. I think DCR went to mining station B while we were busy talking about Dark Aegon.
oh,
Star Camo doesn't opt to get it. See, I don't think. I take back what I said. I don't think Caesar regrets going to labs at all to grab that. Perhaps they'll go get the hints that DCR also just got and check mining station B, and then maybe be pointed to go into Sank Spider side. It's crazy how fast the hints changed, like the route where to go. Now instead of thinking about Temple Grounds cleanup in Torvis, you're thinking about going to Sank. Oh, yeah, I also forgot, yeah, Spider Ball, they can just climb the tracks and do the Sank checks now. Maybe Caesar will luck into Boost Ball that way. Yeah, there's the Incash 2 check from DCR. I'm assuming that's why they're going this way.
looks like Caesar might be checking Mine Shaft and Mining Station B before checking Spider Side if he plans on it.
Yeah. I think once Caesar reads that boost hint, they'll definitely go in. Yeah, the dash that DCR is about to do is a little finicky. I used to think that you like had to bend it up from dashing off the door, but if you there's like a blade pod to the left of the door that you enter the room from, and if you do it off of that, I'm pretty sure you don't have to bend it anymore. But the problem with this dash is that the ledge is a little high up, and when you dash in echoes, the more frames you press B on your input for the dash, the less height you have overall. So optimal dashes require pressing B for only one frame. Notice that DCR just fell off by accident. This is one of those dashes where you want to minimize the amount of time you're pressing B.
And you said you don't have to bend it?
If you dash off that blade pod, it doesn't look like you have to, no.
Okay. Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong.
I should clarify that when you bend dashes and echoes, all you're doing is curving the stick a certain direction before pressing R.
Yeah.
When you do like a combat dash in echoes, even like without just like trying to attempt to do a scan dash, if you're just dodging enemy, if you kind of dash to the side and then hold forward and hold back, you'll see Samus kind of moves closer and away from her target during the dash. And because pressing L and R in the air locks your speed and momentum, if you do that after you're curving your dash dash will move in the same way as well. So you can kind of influence the direction you move a little bit.
So if I'm understanding right, that's an alternative to bending?
No, that is bending. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought bending was like curving. Well, I'm confused. I thought you said, well, first I thought you said like curving the control stick before pressing R, but then I remember you saying
Yeah,
moving
that's you have
forward
to
and
do
back
it.
during the dash.
Yeah, it's like at the beginning of the dash because once you press R in the air, as long as you're still holding R, that's the end of your dash. Like that's you in order if you want to keep the dash, you can't change the direction you're going. You can only turn. So the goal is to
Uh,
um, to influence your direction at the very beginning of the dash.
Okay, I misunderstood somehow.
Yeah, there's this silly spider ball hint. I'm not sure why DCR is checking this ink cache. I'm pretty sure they read the hint for it when picking up Darkseer, right? And it was just missile related.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they just forgot about that. It's hard to take notes for everything. Oh, and they're just waiting during the fight anyway. Funny. Free missile. So I guess we're going to see both players head to Ing Hive almost at the same time. Or not? Oh, right, Caesar hasn't grabbed the Annihilator Beam yet. That's right.
Yeah.
DCR also found Dark Visor in there, in Broom Closet, so there's 2 items there that have a lot of checks. Perhaps they'll end up being needed at some point for STKs or something. I find it hard to think that Dark Visor or Annihilator would be locking like further progression items. Everything in Aegon in this seed. Yeah, it could be Light Suit. Or Supers. Or Echo, and Echo's locking something. Oh, you love to see those powerbomb drops. I had a very interesting moment when practicing for this tournament in this room where I had 2 power bombs coming into the room, like 2 capacity out of 2, and I power bombed the pirates because I didn't have a beam. So I had 1 out of 2 power bombs, but both pirates still somehow dropped a power bomb, like no flex drop or whatever. And then I think I also killed a war wasp at some point that also dropped one. I don't know. It was something ridiculous. And yeah, an STK and Hall of Combat Master that DCR have just picked up. Just using a simple instant morph trick with the spider ball. I'm assuming that's what they used anyway. Was that another STK and Calling Chamber? Or was that the morph ball related? I couldn't tell. Yeah, probably boost ball. Still worth picking up regardless. It would have been pretty funny if it was Cannonball. And yeah, with Dark Visor that DCR has, it makes sense to stay here. I suppose, open up the shortcut. Maybe they'll plan to use the saves to warp back to Temple Grounds.
Sorry, I'm not saying much right now. I'm just trying to think before I speak more.
I don't remember any boss hints or UMOS 2. I don't think we got any of those yet.
I haven't seen any yet either.
Yeah, I think the 3 Aegon hints pointed to was it Annihilator Beam, Dark Beam, Bombs, Boost, and Spider? I think that's correct. These are pretty stacked hints, honestly. And yeah, TCR hopefully not going to die to the quads. What item was in the tunnel anyway that he would want to grab it right now without reloading the room using the dark beam trigger to get rid of the quads? Or the dark door trigger, I mean, excuse me. Usually when this item is something that I want to pick up, I always reload the room via leaving instead. I guess I'm not gonna see what the item is. Oh, just an STK. You can mark that down as a required Spider Guardian. Yeah, Eerie is available for Vanilla Echo Visor. That's rough. So, now with the Annihilator Beam that Caesar's about to pick up, oh, and the Dark Visor, I wonder if he'll decide to follow DCR. It's difficult to think what they must be thinking in a situation like this where they have access to everywhere. Like, if I was playing as DCR, I would have absolutely came in to grab the boost ball, and then my thought process would be to maybe do a few things in sync before leaving via a save. But it's difficult. But you also don't want to stay too far out of logic, just because at this point you're still kind of looking for super missiles. Because that's what's stopping you from getting your hints. A Torvis key.
Going for the blind Immortus play. Let's hope it's not bait.
This could end up being pretty big. If it ends up being useful. I guess I can understand making it. Where was the third Aegon key, by the way? Was it in cache 1? Was that it?
I missed it.
I think it might have been in cache 1. Oh yeah, it was Transport Center, in cache 1, and Dynamo Chamber, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that a Morbus could be at this point that would really help them out is supers. Unless it ends up being, you know, something else like Screw Attack or Echo that they need. Gravity Boost and Wasp Station Access. I'm sure DCR will like finding that before entering Torvis.
God, he made that look so easy. Jumping back into the slot like that.
Yeah, it's a tricky instant morph to get a hold of. But at some point, like, you do it in like literally every speedrun of this game, every route, other than like no bombs.
Yeah, I'm better at just
something else. So
yeah. I find it I find it a little easier to do it the intended way until you reach the slot and then just fall onto the rising gate. Because you can't do it from the far out angle. It's
Yeah.
just slightly different.
And DCR, I guess just try to confirm that those aren't super missiles. I have made that mistake a couple
Oh,
times in multis.
yeah, me too. My rule of thumb is that you always try to get a good look at it, even if it looks stupid, to get closer to it than you think you need to, but you gotta be
Yeah.
sure.
When I play on a CRT television as well. I just said television twice technically, but it's harder for me to tell.
Yeah.
Oh, another Sky Temple key in main research. Is DCR really going to go for the chumps to get it? Oh, that's an interesting strategy. So DCR was just doing some standable terrain on the moving. I don't even know what they're called. Those things, and he tried to do an instant morph onto a spider track to skip part of the puzzle. I've never even like considered doing that before. That's pretty cool. But I guess he's just gonna go
Yeah.
back for it later, maybe with screw attack, in an attempt to save
Yeah.
some time.
You can jump down from the transit station side and just morph it after you land on it, and then it's like level with the track. Slightly easier way of doing that.
And yeah, Morbus being useless. I'm pretty sure. I think it was light ammo.
Why did I look? I always look away at the.
I think
Ugh.
I caught it with the corner of my eye. Yeah, is DCR gonna make a lower Torvis play here? It's out of logic without super missiles, and you can't access the rest of Torvis because there's the little like gate that's blocking the item in Torvis Temple that disappears when you clear the pirate fight. For some reason, it has extended collision underneath the ground that goes in front of the elevator to reach Lower Torvis, and that's still there, like on the backside. So if you enter Lower Torvis first, you can't reach Upper Torvis unless you clear the pirate fight first. So if DCR was to make that play, they could only do Lower Torvis. They wouldn't be able to like lead that into Upper. Looks like DCR is just going to make the more conservative play and go back to Aegon. Transitioning from Under Temple Shaft to Cash B, I believe that does work, yeah, but the problem with doing that is because Cash B is so much higher, I believe that in order to actually reach the Cash B door to transition to Dark Torvis Temple, you have to float all the way up to the top. I'm pretty sure the box for the Cash B doesn't extend all the way down. So just a bunch of floating in the Aether. That would probably take like not an hour, but you know, an extremely long time. Oh, it looks like we're being rated by SpeedGaming. So welcome. It's a pretty close race between these two. Oh, yep, DCR just using the boost ball to reach Torvis from the side. Yeah, that's not the extended collision of the Torvis gate isn't something I would want removed from Randovania. It's just how the game works, it's natural. And it also leads for some extremely funny scenarios in multi-worlds where your friend starts in lower Torvis and their only way out is using main power bombs to access the training chamber elevator. or seeds with random elevators where your only logical access into Upper Torvis is through warping to the energy controller. Like that stuff is very funny, in my
Oh,
opinion.
what's he doing?
Oh, and DCR is just doing this trick here to get to the pirate fight sooner. I'm assuming they want to do this because they'd rather check these checks in Torvis first. Because DCR does have... Oh no, DCR doesn't have an Emerald Translator. I just realized. Yeah, so they have to do this in order to reach Torvis. I would have done this as well.
Wow, good timing.
Yeah,
Some real play over there.
just another strategy that you use in speedruns, so if you're good at the game, that's just ingrained in your muscle memory. There's really good visual cues for knowing when to release shots to hit those pirates. But if you've never tried it before, it looks, even if you've done it a bunch of times, it feels so good to pull it off. And then the cutscene of the other pirate reinforcements showing up places you inbounds. That trick that DCR just pulled off, by the way, is in logic as a one-room wall crawl, but only with screw attack. Because using screw attack, you can get out of bounds in the tunnel, leading to lower Torvis, and then do the fight like that. Just some dark ammo, darn. Caesar almost getting possessed by the warrioring. Good thing that the suit is capable of stopping that. Oh wait, no, it's in the game's canon, it's the energy transfer module that prevents you from being possessed, right? By the Ing?
No idea.
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's something along those lines.
Yeah, I was never one to read scans that much in casual playthroughs.
It is the ETM? Cool. Well, there's something else the ETM doesn't actually do, even though the game says it does. New Randovania option. Getting possessed by Ing is an insta-kill if you haven't picked up the energy transfer module.
That'll be interesting.
Caesar just standing a little bit too far back to have all the missiles hit the locks. Oh my, that's a lot of ammunition.
Oh god.
That's such a pretty sight to see.
Yeah.
DCR just doing a BSJ to climb Great Bridge. And then I guess DCR is just going to go to Forgotten Bridge and then do the BSJ over the gate in order to be able to check those items with that Emerald Translator. Which, as we know, for those who weren't here at the beginning of the race, that was located in Hive Chamber B, and Caesar made that check at the beginning before heading into Aegon. They haven't made use of that translator yet, almost an hour in, but I'm sure it'll come in handy at some point. Yeah, Caesar realizing they're going to have to fight Spider Guardian at some point if they don't want to do that trek into the tunnel.
Yeah, there's a screw attack method and a instant unmorph.
Instant morph, yeah.
Instant morph, sorry.
No apology needed. This game has some terms, they're all very similar to each other. Very easy to let something slip. Sunburst? Is that all beam combos accounted for? I seem to remember Sonic Boom being found somewhere.
I only pay attention to the good ones.
Damn.
Sunburst and Sunburst.
Sonic Boom was in Reactor Core, okay, so I wasn't going crazy. And then Dark Burst was vanilla. DCR is exiting Torvis from the front instead of save warping, and they don't have super missiles. So I guess they're doing either the boost jump or the extended dash? Or maybe DCR just forgot that they don't have supers? I think they did because unless they're just checking the hint, yeah, maybe. Powerbomb expansions are hamburgers. I didn't know that was a new joke hint.
Yeah, I found that
That's
a couple
good.
of weeks ago.
I like that a lot. That's very good.
Several others that I can't remember at the moment, but I remember them being funny.
We have a lot of edited screenshots from back in the day, shit posting in the Echoes community of like various people eating hamburgers, and there's like powerbomb expansions edited on in the picture.
You mean ish posting?
Just poopy posting.
Yeah.
I love this strat that Caesar did to kill the quad.
So satisfying.
Opting to leave though because they don't want to do the extended dashes to check the energy controller. I feel that. Caesar's trying to set up the boost jump to get across, to get that gravity boost that's all the way over there. Unless they're just going to go for the roll jump. Yep. So, I guess I'll just explain roll jumps. There's probably somebody watching who doesn't know what these are or how they work. But when you unmorph... That was second try, very nice. When you unmorph with the camera obstructing you in Echoes, you get what's called an instant unmorph on occasion, where the game doesn't play the animation of you unmorphing. And something really interesting about Echoes is that for some reason, after you unmorph, there's a 21 frame window in a 60 FPS game, mind you, where you can input B and Samus will jump. But normally when you unmorph, the unmorph animation takes longer than 21 frames, obviously, so you can't input B during that window, but you can during an instant unmorph. So if you roll off the ledge and while holding R to lock your speed once you press L, and you do an instant unmorph and input the jump within 21 frames of leaving the ground, you'll jump and you can hit the terminal fall trigger on the other side of the hole to respawn.
Yeah. Basically, it works the same way as BSJs with the 21 frame window.
Yep. That's what makes the 3 BSJs so much harder than the 1, because when you just use one bomb to like jump up in the air, you haven't left the ground for as many frames, so the window to be able to unmorph and hit B is much smaller, or larger, sorry. While I was explaining that, I didn't notice. I guess DCR save warped, and then did they go through Temple Transport Amber to get to landing site? Is that what happened?
Last thing I saw on his side was him checking the hit and going
Oh my
back.
god, Cobalt was here too?
So he might have save warped from Torvus Lagoon.
Oh, and Hall of Honor dead, of course. Wow, Cobalt and Emerald. This is pretty funny. And we knew about this Emerald, like, what, 4 minutes into the seed or something? But now we're finding out about Cobalt. And yeah, every translator was in Temple Grounds, other than the one in Great Temple, which is technically not Temple Grounds. It's Comm Area, Hive Chamber A, and Hive Chamber B. That's nutty. So DCRs and Caesar are still on the hunt for supers and screw attack, potentially light suit.
It's Great Temple because it always has Violet. Sounds about right.
Esther's made so many puns in the chats of the races today. Always making valuable contributions. I guess Caesar fell down the wrong hole? by accident. Oh, it was just an energy tank, though.
As usual, I looked away, but the camera might have messed them up. That's happened to me a few times.
Yeah, I like to take my time there. I guess Caesar's gonna go up the length of this full spider track to grab this key. DCR picked up this key, right? I initially kind of questioned the decision to ignore it, just in case you never had to come back to Sank, you know? But I'm pretty sure they picked it up afterwards. Just taking out these quads because they're annoying. They shoot you with lasers.
I love how they always wait until the camera's turned away before they start spinning, making it harder to boost into them.
I wish I knew 100% how to manipulate the AI to bait the spin. I think it might have something to do with like leaving a range and then like going back into it. I'm not too sure. And then it looks like GFM DCR opting not even to pick up the missile or even fully put it on screen. I guess we're gonna get a new hint though here.
And maybe open up Sank entrance.
Skank and Sky Temple Grounds. I think there was a Dark Torvis key picked up in Sank, I think. Or no, I don't think it was, maybe not picked up, but I'm pretty sure it was in Temple Access.
Okay. Looks like DCR was peeking up through the ceiling. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, DCR found that, or came up with that strat in a Room Rando stream very recently. Because I think it was because it was just very awkward to wall crawl there to grab the item, so he just tried to peek it. And
I couldn't see what it was though.
it ended up being Seekers in the Room Rando that he was playing, like, and he was just able to see and decided to wall crawl it because of that. And yeah, just deciding to do Sank entrance. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss a hint about something being here, so this is an interesting play. Maybe DCR just feels confident about being in the lead, so is just deciding to make the gamble in case it's supers. Hello, Miguel. You missed a really front-loaded seed. Had all the beams, the suits, Dark Visor, and Aegon, and then Spider Brothers and Dark Labs.
And all translators in Temple Grounds except Great Temple.
Yeah, extremely front-loaded. They're just looking for super missiles now. I'm pretty sure DCR didn't check Dark Torvis, which is a play that was made in a previous race as well, and supers ended up being in, I think it was Putrid Alcove in that seed. So hopefully that's not what's happening here as well, where people make the trip to Torvis and then don't fully commit. Movement in Morph Ball is faster. Well, I guess DCR is going back to Sank using Sank entrance. Paying a good visit to Quentin the Quad, using their legs as a standable, like, piece of collision to climb this room. I wonder where DCR is going now. I guess it looks like they're staying in Sanctuary. Oh, for Cobalt hints, of course. I completely forgot about that. Umos 2 is dead, okay. Who's in the lead? I mean, Is it hard to say at this point? DCR ended up picking up the emerald that Caesar had, and has also visited Torvis a bit, and also has the cobalt for reading the hints. Caesar is basically taking the same route that DCR did for the most part, of like doing the Aegon cleanup and then doing Sank and then coming back, and I think they're gonna do a similar thing that DCR did, except Caesar has emeralds, they don't have to go out of bounds.
Yeah, it's pretty close nonetheless at the moment.
Like, I'm pretty sure DCR did not do the BSJ in Forgotten Bridge to make the checks that are behind this Emerald Gate. So I mean, Caesar could find supers here or in Dark Torvis, and then just bam, there's an advantage right off the bat.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I say DCR has made more checks and has more items, so I guess they're gonna do the extended dash to check this this item and the hint as well. Oh no, are they doing Spider Guardian?
Looks like it.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah, DCR has done more checks but hasn't gotten a lot out. Trying to do the boost roll jump in that room to skip the cannon. It's a cool trick. My Caesar just double checking all the in-cash hints with that Dark Visor, trying to see if they missed something. I didn't see how many of them were beam related. It's not a Cursed Lake. Hive Dynamo is beam related? Oh, that DCR might be doing this for that reason then. Yeah, still no sign of supers or screw attack, but I believe DCR is making the Spider Guardian play just to look for supers and Hive Dynamo works. And yeah, the Cobalt is in Logic. It was just Hive Chamber
Oh,
A.
there's screw attack in
There you go,
Torvis
screw
Row.
attack. So yeah, finally the Emerald for Caesar paid off. Like, what, over an hour in total? It helped that Caesar had Emerald in a point where DCR did not.
Yeah.
Perhaps these hints will also point towards super missiles. So Caesar can get something else out of it even more. Or even more so. Caesar not using... Oh, there we go, okay. Can use screw attack to trivialize a lot of rooms, and this is one of them. So DCR is going to have to come pick that up because they're playing with final bosses enabled. So everything Caesar's doing right now, DCR is not done yet. Because DCR decided not to do the Forgotten Bridge BSJ. I have seen super missiles here in Plaza Access a lot.
Me too.
With the logic expecting you to use Emerald to come here from the side of Torvis, so I wonder if that's what we're going to see here. And Spider Guardian is the energy transfer module.
Nice.
Great. That's not exactly the same as a super missile Gollop. Although one could argue that it's even better. And yeah, DCR doing the Hive Dynamo works, check. Don't have screw attacks, so they're gonna have to go all the way around this lovely little mess.
Oh, never thought of boosting that way.
Aw, unfortunately didn't work out. Torvis Plaza not being the Super's location either. DCR has made the play on Hive Dynamo Works in both races so far. Previously, there was a hint about it being a movement system, and at that point they didn't have gravity boost and grapple, so DCR decided to fight Spider Guardian to make the check, and it ended up being grapple, and DCR skipped it. And well, to rub like even more salt into the wound, what ended up happening right after is that DCR fell down to main research, and then the hint ended up being that gravity boost was in, I don't remember where, but it was somewhere that wasn't Hive Dynamo Works, so that would have narrowed it down to be grapple.
DCR going back the long way. I've never seen that before.
That's not possible, THK, because lower Torvis from the back is not in logic on these settings. I think the boost and like the boost trick to get behind the training chamber statue is an advanced difficulty trick.
What is he doing?
DCR is just doing some dashes to get around without doing the extended dash.
Oh, okay. I guess that was a quicker way back to the energy controller.
Yeah.
Never thought of doing it that way.
Those dashes can be finicky. Anything in Echoes where you have to dash on something with standable terrain is awful.
And
Oh,
Chica's dead.
Chica's dead. Another seed with no Chica. Trying to roll jump out.
It's pretty strange for a tournament not to see Chica yet.
I'm sure it'll turn up eventually.
Yeah.
No, Miguel, not the extended dash. The dash onto the collision to the left of the door. The regular dash. Oh, DCR not getting enough oomph on that dash. Yeah, Supers and Torvis energy controller is still
I'm kind of
alive.
holding out hope for that.
I want to see it just once. At least once. I don't care if it's me playing. If it's me playing, you know, that'd be kind of humble. Like humbling, TBH. But, I don't know. Useless Dark Aegon key hints. DCR trying more standable terrain while already having Scan Visor up. And then just deciding to use these platforms instead. Echo and Dark Torvis Arena. Interesting. What was on a Morbus? I believe it was a light ammo expansion. Caesar fought a Morbus earlier. One grabbing Annihilator from Jump Guardian.
Yeah, so 2 dead bosses and 1 half-dead boss.
Oh, is DCR gonna commit? Oh, 3 rooms away from Sky Temple Key 7. Not exactly the type of hint you want to see. And I guess DCR is committing to lower Torvis. That's an interesting play. Yeah, the item in Torvis Temple Access was not Sky Temple Key 7, I believe. So I don't think Torvis Energy Controller is the Super's location. Now, where was Sky Temple Key 7? Was that picked up? I honestly don't know. I never keep track of the numbers in my head.
Me neither.
But in this case, it would help. I guess in the case of the players, it might be more beneficial to have it not picked up, because if you know to look out for Sky Temple Key 7 now, you're gonna notice it when the name appears on screen, and then alarm bell should ding on your head that super missiles are nearby.
Yeah, I guess you could scan the keys before picking them up too.
It's
Just
just
so
if you
you know
check,
how
you can check
close.
your inventory to see which ones you've already picked up, but they don't tell you where they are
Yeah.
or where they were picked up, so you can't use it that way. Yeah, the hint was 3 rooms, so temple access into Torvis Temple, into Torvis Energy Controller access into Energy Controller is 3 rooms. But temple access in Torvis was not Sky Temple Key 7.
So if we happen to see them pick up SCK7, we should know that supers are close by.
Underground Tunnel had a missile expansion. And yeah, I can agree with Gollop that I've considered making this play a few times when practicing for the tournament, but I decided this was never worth it because Lower Torvis is not a check that you're able to make until you have super missiles. So if you're using it as a if you coming here, you pretty much only ever expect to find like an STK or Seekers or some other progression item needed to get other STKs. And in DCR's case, supers aren't here, and supers are, with their skill level, the only thing they need to get hints. So the only thing they can really find here are like SDKs for Light Suit. Maybe they just really want the Echo Visor? Oh wait, no, that's in Dark Taurus Arena, never mind. Yeah, the hints don't really help DCR at this point, other than like maybe pointing towards Light Suit. But DCR also hasn't done any of the other upper Torvis hints either. Oh, and there's a Sky Temple key down here that DCR is gonna grab. Okay. And there's a suit in Dark Torvis, so perhaps it's Light Suit. Although Light Suit could also be Boost Guardian right here. Oh, Sky Temple key. Okay.
7. So
7. Oh,
supers
wait,
are
3 rooms away.
putrid
Wait.
alcohol.
Wait, Super's in Putrid Alcove again! That's crazy. So once again, somebody not doing Dark Torvis when they were in Torvis, and missing out on Supers in Putrid Alcove. Although, MightyCaesar doesn't have the hint for this, but it looks like they're going to be going like straight into it regardless
Yeah.
to make the checks, so they're just going to find it. So yeah, just like we said earlier, like DCR has done more checks, but I mean, you never know. You could always get the you could always just find supers and suddenly jump into the lead. Also, press and hold B to charge, release to boost.
Yep, there they are.
And there, Caesar is probably thinking they're behind, honestly. I probably would in their situation, but
Yeah, as soon as I full clear Dark Upper Torvis, I would probably save warp. Or not save warp. Go out of the front of Torvis to check ins.
yeah. Even reload your save to come back to Torvis, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not looking as good for DCR. I should reiterate once again that... Oh, wait, no, DCR did the... DCR did do the pirate fight in Torvis, so DCR is able to... Even though they don't have supers, the elevator to Upper Torvis is a blue door from the back. So once DCR is finished with this, he'll be able to go to Upper Torvis, and should hopefully be able to find the super missiles.
I'm just now noticing that you can slope jump from underwater up to the morph ball cannon. I didn't know that.
With Gravity Boost, you don't actually have to slope jump at all. You can use some standable terrain, like directly, like
Sorry,
in
I
front
meant
of
to
the
say
tunnel.
I meant to say standable terrain.
Oh, well, there is a slope jump method too. So, and I wasn't watching what DCR did. I wonder, Light Suit could be under poisoned water. I didn't pay attention to the in-cache hints. Oh, was Light Suit Venomous Pond? Okay. I guess that's why you typed to go mode. Yeah, there it is.
Yep, it's like it's going brands now.
A smart choice. Oh, I guess they're just warping to start instead. Oh, wait, I guess that is faster. Yeah.
I'm not sure if warping to start and then coming from here or just going out of Torvis Lagoon might be faster.
And yeah, DCR is just doing some roll jumps to try to get to Gathering Hall's bomb slots without using power bombs and doing the thing normally. If you have Screw Attack, it's much easier. I bet DCR was a little upset seeing that little number 2 there, honestly. Looking for that 7. I don't believe Caesar is aware of where Cobalt is. If they go to like near the ship and loop around to make the check, they'll find it. There's another Sky Temple key here. DCR finding all the Sky Temple keys in Lower Torvis, but might not end up being able to skip the trip overall, because after this I'm going to assume they're going to go to Upper Torvis. That's what I would do, because all these checks are still not in logic.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
According to Race Time Chat, looks like DCR feels behind, especially after finding the SDK not 7, or SDKs that weren't number 7.
Yeah.
Apparently they both feel like they're playing poorly. I think they're playing fairly well though.
Yeah, I think the two are playing fine. It's hard to play in a tournament. You make mistakes that you don't really ever make when practicing.
Yeah.
Well, DCR's on the right track though. They're gonna find Screw Attack here in Torvis Grove shortly, and then also I believe they got the hint about something in Dark Torvis Arena. Was it Echovisor? So they're gonna head there and then kill Boost Guardian and find Sky Temple Key 7, and then perhaps be pointed towards the right track. DCR still has a chance. He does have the 2 Sky Temple keys from Lower Torvis, right? And if they don't have to come back there, and Cobalt is also required for Stank Map or something, then potentially DCR will be able to save some time and come back to win the tournament. Oh, you mean choosing to do Lower Torvis as the poor play? Yeah, perhaps.
Okay.
6 more. Sand Canyon, okay. Oh, you're writing these down? Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the one that DCR picked up? Oh no, Hydrodynamo Station was the shaft room, yeah. Another one DCR picked up in Gathering Hall. at Kirby Master. Okay, so Echo Visor is required. Oh, Grapple Guardians too. Oh, that's gonna bite DCR. There's the Dynamo Works key.
That's 6 so far?
I think that was all the hints. Was that 6? Sand
Yeah.
Canyon, Eerie, Sacrificial Chamber.
Yeah, and Caesar's got 3, so that was 6. All right.
Yeah. Yep, and our chatter is just typing in chat to confirm it for us. Caesar's got those sticks to collect, and then DCR has picked up Hydrodynamo Station, Gathering Hall, and Dynamo Works already. So DCR will still have to pick up Eerie, Sacrificial Chamber, and Sand Canyon. So 1 key in each area. Like, overall, it routes out fairly nicely. especially with seeker missiles, but it's still you have to visit each area, so. Oh yeah, Caesar is not technically in go mode if they're not willing to do the skip, so they're gonna have to start checking things for Cobalt Translator. Although they're extremely close to it right now. They're very warm in the what's that little game called? Hot versus cold. They're very warm. Caesar's done some tricks in this playthrough. It wouldn't surprise me if they went for the Dynamo Works trick.
I know
They
they
seem
know a
pretty
lot.
comfortable with dashing and stuff like that, so.
Yeah, I've seen them play before, and they know a lot of advanced tricks.
I remember in Caesar's first week race, I didn't watch it myself, but I know that Caesar had bombs in feeding pit, but forgot about the check, so they played the whole seed without bombs, including beating the final bosses, I'm pretty sure. I think, yeah.
I was watching it, but I fell asleep. It was pretty late.
That's a
So I
mood.
never
I've been
caught that
falling
part.
asleep a lot lately at inopportune times. Oh, DCR is going to pick up that Sky Temple Key 7 right now. Ding, 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 ding. 3 rooms away, DCR. So I guess Caesar's deciding to route this in as lower Taurus into Sank, into Aegon for Sand Canyon. And then just wrapping it up. Seems to me like they're not making checks for Cobalt and just heading straight for Dynamo Works.
Yeah.
And DCR using a super missile to break one of the I forget what they're called. I always just call them like mushrooms. The one advantage I would potentially give DCR in this scenario is that they don't know it yet, but they don't have to go back to Sanctuary Fortress. Oh wait, no, they do. Eerie. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I forgot about the Eerie key.
Talk about a bad area for a key.
A bad area for a key. There was a key in the seed that had supers and putrid alcove as well. I believe it was Bellator had 8 keys and no hints because they were still looking for seeker missiles, and Bellator made the gamble on Eerie, and it happened to be the STK. So, with 9 keys before hints, for the first time in the tournament, I think. Caesar heading to Gathering Hall, I think, for Sky Temple Key 2, I think it was. I don't remember.
I think it was 2.
Does Caesar have 2 power bombs right now in their inventory?
He has screw attack.
I was just thinking about breaking the glass. I don't know if they know how to do the screw attack onto the ledge, and it doesn't look like they do because they jumped into the water. Or why did they jump into the water?
Not sure.
Perhaps they're opening the portal to Crypt to be able to get drops. This floor is awful. I highly recommend learning the... If you're participating in the tournament, if you have Spider Ball and Screw Attack especially, like, you can just Screw Attack onto the... Oh, wait. Is Caesar going for it?
Yep. Oh.
Just didn't cancel it in time. Yeah, I think it might come down to execution still. Bellator is right. DCR still has to visit every major area once, but this game is very execution heavy once you are in go mode, so it could still be an extremely close race. That was a very wacky morph that Caesar just did right onto the ledge. I don't think that was an instant morph, but maybe a partial instant morph. I don't know.
Yeah, normally I latch onto the track from behind and then just bomb jump myself over to the other side.
Yeah, I do that same strat. It's very good to learn though, because then you don't have to worry about your powerbomb ammunition.
Yeah, this is one of the rooms where I always happen to have one power bomb left, no matter what.
That's every room in Echoes, honestly. You always have one power bomb because the drop system only gives you that flex drop when you have 0.
Yeah.
I feel like for power bombs, it would work a lot nicer if it was more proportional to your maximum ammo capacity.
Mm-hmm.
To more, because you're not really rewarded for picking up power bomb expansions in terms of like getting more drops. So maybe if you have like 6 total,
Yeah,
maybe you get 2 flex drops instead of 1.
it depends on which room you're in. Like if you're around a lot of crates or enemies, then having one left will get you multiple drops usually.
Yeah. BCTR probably not happy with that sacrificial chamber hint. Although routing lower Taurus into Sank is pretty nice. Yep, 1 key in Aegon, 1 key in Torvis, 1 key in Sank. You don't really like to see that stuff. I'm not sure what the best way to route DCRs is. I think DCR will opt to go to lower Torvis and then go to Training Chamber. And after Training Chamber, dip into Aegon, come back into Torvis, do Eerie, and then save and warp using the main gyro save. I think dipping Aegon and coming back is a better play because their save station's closer to Eerie than it is to Sand Canyon. Grapple Beam. Great. I'm glad that mystery was solved. I guess Caesar just made the check for Cobalt, and then saw it was grapple and decided to pick it up.
Looks like he's going to into the room from underneath.
Oh, does that work? I thought you had to bomb jump in order to... Wait, what?
Yeah, school attack.
That strat looks so much easier than the one that I do. What the heck? I do that sideways. That strat looks so much better. I'm stealing that. Thanks, Caesar.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying that too. I've always wanted to try it, but I never remember to do it when I'm there.
I thought you had to do a bomb jump for your power bomb to reach too, but I guess not. Echoes is great because you can learn something about this game from just about anyone. Because people play it so differently. Yeah, imagine doing a harder strat for no reason. Grapple Guardian is one of those bosses where scanning it is important because otherwise you can't lock on directly to the weak point.
What happens if you attack it before triggering the fight?
I'm not sure you can damage it before the fight. I know it definitely attacks you. Like, it stalks you and, like, tries to hit you and stuff like that. Like, it has, like, some AI, but I don't believe attacking it does anything. I don't know even know if you can kill it. Yeah, Miguel confirming nothing happens.
Okay.
In order to trigger this fight, I believe the game specifically checks that you entered from the room that... You know, the room with all the mushrooms? I don't know what it's called. My guess is sacrificial chamber access or something along those lines. You have to transition to this room directly from that room.
Yeah.
And I think also the room has to reload before you do that, or load as you're doing it.
And yeah, this one is going fairly well. It's pretty close. Not sure who's in. Well, key-wise, DCR seems to be in the lead, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, DCR has picked up the right now, I believe the only discrepancy between their keys is that DCR hasn't done Sacrificial Chamber, and Caesar hasn't done the Dynamo Works key behind Spider Guardian.
Yeah.
And Caesar running out of checks for Cobalt on the way to Dynamo Works, so we're probably going to see the Spider Guardian skip on Caesar's end. This DCR is just grabbing more ammo and reloading the room, like I mentioned you have to do in order to spawn Grapple Guardian properly. Caesar showing us that the Catacombs gate is not really a gate. It's got holes all over the place. Yeah, the routes between the two runners are starting to converge. I'd say they're probably going to be doing the exact same stuff from now on, with Caesar just in the lead slightly. It's going to come down to execution of Dark Samus 2 and final bosses for me.
I'm so jealous of Caesar. He makes that look so easy. I've tried that a million times and I just can't get it for the life of me.
Was it the instant morph onto the track?
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they went for that strat when they had Screw Attack and Gravity Boost, but because you can stand on the gate and then jumping out of the water, you can Screw Attack once you're out of the water to land in front of the bomb slot. But that strat's also pretty cool.
Might have just been closer to the other side. Figured he'd do it that way. I wasn't fully paying attention, like looking back and forth between streams.
And yeah, this is not a remix of the Meridia theme. This is Red Brinstar. Did that blog just swim through the wall a little bit? blogs are so weird.
I looked away again, as usual.
I guess Caesar is trying to kill enemies for powerbomb drops. Yeah, there you go. I always forget when you're in Catacombs and you don't have a powerbomb for the training chamber door, you gotta shoot those, what are they called? Torvus bear pods or something like that?
I don't know.
It's like red and green sacks.
I don't know. I never scanned them before.
Yeah, that powerbomb drop mistake, while it might seem small, is costing Caesar precious time as DCR has pulled ahead and entered Sanctuary. A race this close that could just be decided by just forgetting to get a powerbomb drop. Oh,
training. Sorry.
I was just saying, DCR is going to use Echo to use staging area as a way to get to Upper Sank. So I guess DCR is not doing Sand Canyon first, and then using the Mine Gyro save station. That's interesting. Maybe this is faster. I'm not great at like being creative with routes.
It's one of my weaknesses too, is routing. Part of that is my tendency to full clear areas when I should just be leaving some stuff alone.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it is Dark Caretaker, although I'm not 100%
I think
sure.
that's correct. I have timed going to Dynamo Works via staging area versus via like the Hall of Combat Mastery path, and staging area is a little bit faster when executed properly. But that's for Dynamo Works, not for main gyro chamber in this case. Did DCR fully clear the main gyro chamber puzzle? Did he do the upper level? Okay, it looks like he did. If you don't reload main gyro chamber after clearing the upper like bomb slots, sometimes this boost track doesn't work properly for getting to the power bomb door. I don't know why. Echoes.
Not sure I've had that problem before.
Like you can boost off, but it doesn't send you into the glass. It's weird.
And it looks like he's doing
coming
the
down to this
instant
track.
war.
Oh, first
Nice.
try. Very smooth.
Very nice. So now they're both at 7 keys, and I guess it'll come down to execution now. Although DCR seems a couple of minutes ahead at getting the area key.
Having an excellent Dark Samus 2 fight too.
Yeah.
Did Caesar fall down with the boost track? Like, did they boost off the track and fall? Yeah. Good room. Luckily, it worked the second time. I guess maybe we should switch the audio over to the DCR stream then.
Yeah, probably.
Is there a? I need to get the link for that.
I got it.
You got it? Okay, thank you. Oh, was it on DCR stream? Already? I'm not paying attention.
I switched it.
All doors unlocked.
According to chat, the spider track on the gyro is not actually centered with the ridge on the flat gyro, and it made Astor fall a lot, so that might be why.
Interesting. In my opinion, Dark Samus 2 is probably like the most fun boss in this game. It's fun to practice this boss and try to like do tons of damage with the screw attack and stuff like that. I didn't know screw attack could bypass those red shields. Oh, just barely not getting enough damage on the screw attack to kill. And then getting trolled by the ball. Unfortunate.
There's always a sliver of health left. Gotta love it. And of course she does that too.
Oh, you can force load Dynamo Works when screw attacking in the elevator. That is very scary. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So the elevator, Cat East, if you come from the top or the bottom, the load trigger for the other room, the load triggers when you step in the elevator, like the hologram, and that's when the previous room that you came from unloads and the next room starts to load. And I guess what DCR was, when DCR was goofing around with screw attack in the elevator, I guess there was a risk of the game reloading Dynamo Works, like forcefully, while Hall of Combat Mastery was loading. Was that not it? Oh, the door was shot already, and then he screw attacked over. Okay, I see. But yeah, there was still a risk of that happening, and that would have crashed the game for sure. I guess leaving Aegon through the front is also a good play versus the main gyro save warp.
Ooh,
That was pretty clean.
nice. Never seen that before.
Screw Attack's got a small hitbox. And yeah, tournament stress messing with your head hurts your execution.
Oh,
100%.
for sure. Yeah. Relate to that.
Even if you've already had your decisions and go modes set up, your execution can sometimes be a little shaky. Although Caesar did pull off the Dynamo Works instant war first try. I bet that was pretty nerve-wracking. I don't know how confident they feel with that trick, but
yeah,
like no matter how confident you are, first try on that is very impressive.
yeah. I wouldn't have even went for that yet because it took the only time that I've gotten it. It took me maybe 10 minutes to get it once.
I think the first time it took me 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, DCR's got all the keys, just making their way to Sky Temple Gateway and gonna fight the final bosses.
These are close behind, with only one key left. Which keys these are still missing?
Sand Canyon. That's why they're going back to Aegon.
Okay.
This is a great race, though, to wrap up the races today. Lots of back and forth and good play from both players. I guess Caesar is using the save instead to warp back to start. I think at this point, it's faster RTA to use the Aegon entrance elevator and go through landing site.
And you get a free ammo refill on the way.
That too. The containers here in the, what is this called? The Sky Temple Energy Controller. They drop 10 missiles if your ammo capacity is under a certain threshold. I don't know what it is, but they drop 10 missile drops until you have full missiles, and then they drop power bombs. So sometimes if you are super low on missiles and you need power bombs, I usually just take the ship save.
Yeah. And they drop beam ammo as well. I usually use that to just get enough dark ammo for the dark beam method for DS4. Or DS.
DCR will be going for the screw attack method, though. 100%.
Nice.
Just using Sunburst and Annihilator for the one cycle, yep. Sunburst travels really slowly, so you have time to charge it up and fire as you're waiting for the, I don't even really know what to call it, Emperor Rings, like, shell to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Does tons of damage and doesn't waste any time.
Yeah.
This tentacle is not playing nice. I haven't seen someone get trolled by a single tentacle this much in a while. Oh, got the jump immediately. It's hard to react to that, and DCR did do a little bit of damage, so that's nice.
Nice.
That might be the fastest 4 screw attack I've ever seen in my life.
Looks like you're trying to grab that power bomb.
The fat finger morph. So DCO is just firing 25 Annihilator Beam shots into Dark Samus and then 1 Power Beam shot to do the maximum amount of damage you can do without triggering the DS4 phase. Because if you do enough damage, Dark Samus will just go to the center immediately. What is DCR writing on the ground? I couldn't tell at all. You have to write it. You can't write the letters on top of each other. You have to write them in a line. There's a second screw attack. 3 should be enough. Oh yeah, that was... Oh, no. Another 4th screw attack. Well, GG to DCR.
Finishing with an official time of 1:49:03.
I guess I'll send him an invite. Let's get him in here.
And we are joined by DCR. GG.
That was... Yeah.
I'm gonna repeat the question that I had for you at the end of your last race. What happened in Gathering Hall? No, I'm just kidding.
Roll jumps are hard.
They are hard.
I was kind of pissed to see Screw Attack up in Upper Torvis after I left Torvis because like, wait a minute, Supers can't be, even though there's no reason they couldn't have. So I got there early. I was like, wait, Supers can't be here, and Supers were like a couple rooms away. Like, oh, I turned around.
This might upset you a little bit. Caesar picked up Emerald in Hive Chamber B like at the beginning, and they were able to pull ahead of you because they when you remember you did the pirate fight out of bounds, they took the normal intended path and ended up finding Super Attack and Echo and Super.
That was definitely not what I usually would do is delaying Hive Chambers that late. And then when I saw the hint, I was like, are you kidding? And it was 2 upgrades there, but and then I got baited by the Hive Dynaworks being related, which I thought was Supers. Once I saw the Sunburst, I was like, that has to be Supers, right? No.
Caesar being a good sport and finishing, just because all that's left are final bosses. It was really close.
Yeah.
Caesar still had to pick up Dynamo Works key, and you had to pick up I think it was Sacrificial Chamber. Was that the difference? I think the 2 of you had the same number of keys, but it was like swapped or something. I can't remember. But Caesar didn't have Cobalt because they never went back to the Hive Chambers.
Oh.
So Caesar had to do the instant morph and got it first try. Like, I think when you were entering Sanctuary, after getting the Sacrificial Chamber key, Caesar was ahead of you. But unfortunately, Caesar didn't get a power bomb drop in Catacombs, so they had to leave Training Chamber again to be able to power bomb the door.
I'm just thinking, if I had stayed in Torvis a little longer, who knows?
It's the same thing as the race in the morning, where Supers were in Putrid Alcove, and the players could have gotten them much earlier, but they decided not to do Dark Upper Torvis checks when they were in Dark Torvis. And yeah, that one cycle was... I guess... How did that not hit?
I guess the reason I put the Hive Chambers off so late is because I had so many items. Like, you know what, I'm just gonna do other things.
First frame morph, though, that looked pretty cool.
Of course, it came like the Supers had to be like the worst. Well, I guess it wasn't the worst, but like everything else was like just easy, boom, 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 and then supers had to be like way out there. And I mean, I was thinking at one point, I was thinking, oh great, Echo Visor's gonna lock supers at Airy, but Airy was required anyway, so.
We thought it would be the energy controller until you read the hint. And then Temple Access and Torvis wasn't Sky Temple Key 7. Like, it was a good timing. Like, you read the hint as Caesar was grabbing Screw Attack, I think, and then Caesar ended up finding Sky Temple Key 7 on Loose Guardian, so we were like, oh, I guess it is Putrid Alcove.
Like when well, actually, I didn't even pay attention to the key number for boost. But then once I got supers, like, are you kidding me? Supers are here. And then I was like, okay, well, now I just need light suit, and then light suit would happen to be there. I'm like, okay, well, that was pretty good. Although it wasn't required, so.
Oh, just happening to hit the leg with the Screw Attack. I'm surprised that didn't kill. Same with that.
There we go.
DCR, were you worried about supers and Taurus energy controller? Bellator's asking.
No, I was just... No. I was worried that, like, supers were in, like, sank. After I got the echo hint, I was like, oh, great. But luckily, no. I mean, I don't know. It was...
And Op, you ended up being right when we discussed the possibility of this being a jet seed when you ended up getting all the progression items in Aegon immediately.
Oh, I don't remember saying that.
I think you made a point that sometimes these can end up being bad just because you end up looking like everywhere for the last few items, and that was kind of what ended up happening.
I was honestly expecting a little bit worse.
Oh, and we're joined by Caesar, who is still playing.
Oh,
just finished.
Yeah, we're still a little bit behind. I guess you got DS War Skip. Well, GG's.
Yep. GG's.
It was a very, very close race overall.
Yeah, I feel pretty good for being against DCR.
The early Emerald didn't end up helping you until you found Screw Attack, and it led to supers. DCR didn't have it, so they had to get that much later. I think it was around the time that you were getting your STK hints.
Like, I felt...
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I felt confident. I was like, you know, this is going well for me. I'm doing well. Like, once I stayed in Sank. I was like, oh, a gravity boost. You know, I'm glad I stayed here before going to Torvis. And then once I left and went to Torvis, I just was like, my confidence just dropped. I was like, I just messed up, like, big time. And I started panicking over supers. Oh, supers are probably behind Spider Guardian and this. And then I went back. Oh, Hive Chambers have items. Oh, great. I messed up. Ugh. That was... And then Gathering Hall was...
Gathering Hall was Gathering Hall again. Yeah, I was going to say that...
Gathering Hall took me way longer than it should have. I fell off of the things twice.
I didn't have Screw Attack. So I did the roll jumps. I could have gotten ammo, like PB ammo, but I was too stubborn, and that cost me,
there is one thing
a lot of
that
time.
Felt incredible about this seed, and that was getting Dynamo Works first try.
Yeah, that was
yeah, we were amazed by that. That was great. Must have been hard under like pressure. I believe
because going into there, I'm like, okay, so here's where I take 10 minutes to get the trick, and then because I'm terrible at Dynamo Works, absolutely terrible at it.
Apparently not, though. You got it first try.
The warm-up luck, seeing as this is like the second seed I've played in 3 months.
I think I was getting a little when I was in Sank. I was getting a little carried away with, oh, I could check this and that, but like pretty much most of the checks in Western Sanctuary were way out of logic without Screw Attack or Echo or But you know,
grapple.
Figured you were looking for supers when you checked Hive Dynamo.
and I was so focused on that spider. I mean, that was the only other hint I had, and I saw Sunburst. Like, you know what, spider has to have it. I mean, I didn't have to. I kind of forgot about beam ammo being beam related, but
In general, I feel pretty dang good about my routing. There's a few things that obviously were suboptimal because I lost, but I liked how it all flowed together pretty well.
yeah, I did something I usually don't do, which is putting off hive chambers like super late, and that was, I don't know.
For the most part, you two played it the exact same way, except for the way you decided to tackle Torves. That was pretty much it. Like DCR, you made an extra trip into Torves. It was actually the ending was really close. You were both in lower Torves, like doing sacrificial chamber.
Yeah,
And
if I had,
Caesar, you didn't get the powerbomb drop in catacombs for the training chamber door.
Yeah, that
So
lost
that
me
was
a
when
solid minute.
DCR pulled ahead.
Were we at like the same STK count at that point, or what?
At that point, DCR was only one key ahead of you, and it was Dynamo Works.
Okay. Which means I'd assume he went back to that earlier.
Yeah.
He
DCR
picked it
did
up
the
when he
trip at the
first went through
beginning.
there. Yeah.
like, I entered Torvis from the elevator, and I was like, wait, I don't have Emerald because I didn't do the hive chambers. So I wall crawled, did the pirate fight from out of bounds, and then I got to Forgotten Bridge. I was like, wait a minute. For some reason I thought supers couldn't be in Torvis, and then I turned around, and I could have gone to the Dark World and gotten supers right there, but I didn't know.
I collected one more item than DCR.
That item, Grapple Beam. In under
Where was
Transit
it?
1.
Oh.
I think
Yeah, because it
you were
took
looking
like
for
5
Cobalt,
seconds
right?
to pick it up. Yeah. I actually thought it was an ATM, which is why I grabbed it.
Oh, would you like to know where Cobalt was?
Sure.
Hive Chamber A. And that was before
Hmm.
DCR picked up Emerald, so we were laughing that all the translators were in Temple Grounds.
Interesting.
Well, GG's to both of you. It was a good race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ending within 6 minutes of DCR, like that feels pretty dang good.
Anything else to add for the like overall thoughts of this seed?
No major bosses. That was interesting.
Again, it's so boring.
Almost an Amorbus bait, but nope.
Oh, Caesar, you fought a Morbus.
Yeah, I did fight a Morbus.
I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hold off because sometimes you get the
Because
free
it-
keys and it's nothing.
Logic pushed it very solidly towards it because the keys flowed together pretty well, and it was actually a really clean fight until the last phase where a couple of my missiles just missed.
I don't blame you for pushing Amorbus though, because Amorbus is really quick. It's a quick fight to do, and it doesn't take much to get to.
Yeah, a Morbus and that power bomb drop, and I think we might, if I hadn't done a Morbus and I'd gotten that power bomb drop after fighting the Grapple Guardian, and I think we probably would have been within like a minute or two.
Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up here. As always, follow the racers.
Yeah.
And thanks to Gollop for tracking as well. Gollop did a great job. Definitely give him a follow too.
And thank you all for watching.
And thanks to both of our commentators and the tracker once again for taking the time out of their day to commentate for this race and for all the other ones they do.
Well, we have more matches coming up. There's tomorrow at 8 p.m. Reed Whaley versus Kaushi. Friday at 3 p.m. Lucarius Lion versus Ims Low. And same day at 4 p.m. we have Mr. Miguel versus Lane. Same night at 8 p.m. we have Lokir versus Digglerath, and then at 10 p.m. Linopus versus Aster. So keep an eye out for those. But until then, I've been Op82, and Aaron already left. But yeah, see you next mission. Thanks for watching.